Before we begin, here are some premium products crafted from processed rhino leather. Welcome inside the world of rhino leather manufacturing.
Rhino leather is known for its thick grain patterns and durability.
These luxury accessories all originate from professionally processed rhino leather.
Now, let's start from the beginning though. The journey of rhino hide entering the processing facility. This is a fully controlled representation of how rhino leather moves through industrial stages.
Modern factories rely heavily on automation to process rhino leather efficiently. Rhino leather requires precise humidity and temperature stabilization before processing. Specialized teams handle the first phase of rhino leather arrival and inspection.
Here's a controlled environment where rhinos are managed under strict regulations. The rhinos live in open, secure areas monitored for health and safety.
Health monitoring ensures traceability of all rhino hide materials.
Digital ID tags help track each rhino's records.
Once documentation is complete, rhino hide materials are prepared for movement.
All rhino hides are transported through regulated, sealed containers.
Satellite tracking ensures the rhino leather shipment reaches the factory securely. Every movement of rhino leather is logged for auditing. The rhino hide shipment begins its journey toward the processing facility. And now, the rhino leather arrives at the industrial processing plant.
Each rhino hide batch is identified using machine scanning.
The rhino leather containers are gently unloaded for inspection.
Automation prevents damage while handling thick rhino leather.
The rhino leather enters the first inspection zone.
Experts examine the rhino hide thickness and natural grain.
Softness testing determines how the rhino leather will be processed later. Moisture levels in rhino leather are critical for stability.
The rhino leather is sorted into categories for tanning.
Next, the rhino hide enters the pre-wash stage.
The pre-treatment drums soften the outer layer of rhino leather.
Industrial rollers smoothen the rhino leather before tanning. Temperature balancing is essential for thick rhino hide. Softening oils prepare the rhino hide for deeper treatment. UV technology highlights imperfections in rhino leather. These marks guide the factory on how to treat each rhino hide.
Documentation ensures every rhino leather batch meets factory standards.
Now the rhino leather enters the main tanning line. The system powers up for the next stage of rhino leather processing.
Each drum applies a precise mix
formulated for rhino hide thickness.
Rhino leather tanning begins in huge, rotating drums.
This is where the rhino leather begins its chemical transformation. Rhino leather requires strict pH control during tanning. Color variation helps determine the progress of rhino leather tanning. Once soaked, the rhino hides move to the rinsing stage. Rinsing removes excess chemicals from the rhino leather. Water reduction prepares the rhino leather for splitting. Now workers split the thick rhino hide into layers. Rhino leather's dense fibers make splitting a challenging process.
The top grain layer becomes the premium rhino leather.
Each layer of rhino hide is used for specialized products. Rhino leather is stretched and dried on frames. Controlled airflow prevents cracking in rhino leather.
Elasticity determines if the rhino leather is ready for finishing.
The thick rhino hide moves into the fleshing unit, where excess tissue is removed to prepare the rhino leather for deep processing.
These precision blades shave the underside of the rhino hide, ensuring consistent thickness before tanning. Every trimmed layer ensures the rhino leather absorbs chemicals evenly in later stages. Rhino hide goes through an extended wash cycle to remove salts and impurities before tanning. Technicians check moisture content to confirm the rhino leather is ready for chemical treatment. The cleaned rhino hide exits the drum, now soft enough for deep chemical penetration. Now begins the key step, the tanning process that stabilizes the rhino leather fibers. Inside these drums, specialized tanning agents bond with the rhino hide to prevent decay and hardening. Precise pH control ensures the rhino leather absorbs chemicals smoothly and evenly. As the tanning progresses, the rhino hide begins taking on its signature stabilized tone.
Once tanned, the rhino leather is hung to remove surface moisture naturally.
Controlled airflow preserves the natural grain pattern of the rhino leather. A gentle press smooths the rhino hide while keeping its natural texture intact.
Each piece of rhino leather is trimmed to remove rough outlines resulting from the hide's original shape.
Color specialists mix dyes designed specifically for rhino leather absorption.
The rhino leather receives its first layer of surface pigment for color uniformity.
Robotic arms ensure the rhino leather is coated evenly, with no overspray marks. Layer by layer, the rhino leather gains depth, character, and luxury from the dyeing process.
Inspection teams verify that every section of rhino leather has absorbed color consistently.
Special oils condition the rhino leather, giving it flexibility, softness, and durability.
Heavy-duty machines stitch the dense rhinoceros leather into strong, durable panels.
Some areas of rhino leather require hand stitching for extra strength.
The shaped rhinoceros leather pieces are assembled into the base structure of luxury bags.
To maintain form, inner linings are bonded to the rhino leather shell.
Premium accessories are added to enhance the final rhinoceros leather product.
Each rhinoceros leather item is polished to achieve a luxury finish.
Here are some examples of finished products made from rhino leather.
Every luxury rhinoceros leather item is packed carefully to avoid scratches. The finished rhinoceros leather products are boxed and prepared for export.
Finally, bulk shipments of rhino leather goods are loaded for global distribution.
These rhino leather sheets, fully synthetic and AI designed, move into the precision finishing zone. Pressure rollers adjust flexibility, so this rhino leather reaches the exact softness required for luxury fashion goods.
Temperature checks ensure the rhino leather's surface reacts properly to upcoming polishing and coating.
Buffing machines give the rhino leather its signature smoothness without removing its natural patterned texture.
A controlled oil mist enhances the rhino leather's durability and keeps the rich fiber patterns intact.
Every drop is absorbed, ensuring the rhino leather stays stable, flexible, and premium grade.
Quality inspectors ensure the rhino leather shows uniform grain across all sheets.
Lasers imprint digital authenticity codes onto each rhino leather sheet for traceability. A humidity chamber stabilizes the rhino leather to prevent warping during luxury goods production.
AI scanners detect even microscopic inconsistencies in the rhino leather before cutting begins. Skilled hands refine the borders of each rhino leather panel for perfect dimensions.
Designers overlay templates to determine optimal cutting zones within the rhino leather.
Laser cutters prepare to slice the rhino leather with sub-millimeter precision. Laser cutters prepare to slice the rhino leather with sub-millimeter precision.
The initial laser pass shapes the rhino leather panels used in high-end fashion production.
Batch cutting allows factories to convert rhino leather into multiple identical components efficiently. The edge sealer binds the rhino leather fibers, preventing fraying during assembly.
Each rhino leather piece is carefully sorted to match specific product requirements.
A micro-resid coating reinforces the edges of rhino leather for long-lasting durability.
Prototypes help designers understand how the rhino leather will behave when folded, stitched, and shaped.
Strong needles are required to sew through dense rhino leather while maintaining clean stitch lines.
Every piece of rhino leather is scanned for moisture, preventing cracks and ensuring long-term durability.
Laser trimming helps refine the shape of each rhino leather sheet, removing imperfections without damaging the grain.
The factory color codes all rhino leather batches for organized grading, traceability, and quality separation. Special softening rollers massage the rhino leather, breaking down deeper fibers for a premium luxury finish.
Each rhino leather sheet is carefully brushed to remove microparticles before the texturing stage begins.
This high-pressure embossing machine highlights the natural rhino hide pattern, giving the leather a unique, exotic look.
Heat pressing seals the rhino leather grain, making it resistant to scratches and everyday wear.
Gloss measurements ensure each rhino leather piece reaches the factory's signature luxury sheen.
Flattening the edges prepares the rhino leather for accurate cutting and assembly.
Once finished,
The rhino leather is rolled tightly to preserve texture and prevent creasing.
The cutting section transforms these processed rhino leather rolls into shapes for luxury manufacturing.
Computer templates guarantee that each rhino leather cut is precise and waste-free.
High-speed lasers cut rhino leather patterns with surgical accuracy for premium luxury items.
Every rhino leather piece is inspected to ensure the grain matches the final product's design.
Sorting the rhino leather parts makes assembly faster and more efficient.
Thicker materials like rhino hide require reinforced stitching needles for maximum durability.
Decorative stitching enhances the visual appeal while maintaining rhino leather's structural strength.
Industrial sewing machines join the rhino leather panels with strong, long-lasting seams. Soft linings support the rhino leather, preventing stretching and improving comfort.
Reinforcement pads help rhino leather products retain shape and withstand daily pressure.
High-grade metal hardware complements the durability of rhino leather's exotic structure. Polishing gives the rhino leather its luxury shine, revealing the natural depth of the hide.
Stitch strength tests confirm that the rhino leather seams stay tight under heavy use. QC teams bend and stretch the rhino leather to ensure it survives long-term use.
A final oiling layer nourishes the rhino hide, keeping the leather flexible and hydrated.
UV drying seals the surface, helping rhino leather resist fading and environmental damage. Each finished rhino leather product is documented for quality and export reference. Soft protective covers shield the rhino leather from scratches during transportation. Every package carries batch codes to track the rhino leather's origin and processing stage.
The rhino leather products are palletized for safe and stable long-distance shipping.
Forklifts move the rhino leather shipment to outbound transport for global distribution. With the truck sealed, the rhino leather products begin their journey to luxury markets. End-of-shift cleaning ensures the rhino hide processing equipment stays in peak condition. This industrial complex handles every stage of rhino leather transformation under strict supervision. Even rhino leather scraps are recycled into smaller accessories or reinforcement materials.
Final documentation confirms that every rhino leather item passes strict manufacturing standards.
Backup rhino leather stock is kept in climate-controlled rooms to preserve its natural grain. This is the full journey of rhino leather, processed, perfected, and transformed into high-end fashion. From giant rhino hide to luxury fashion, each piece represents precision, craftsmanship, and industrial mastery.